A financial curse does not come from anywhere, but from the decisions you make. If you let an opportunity slip, then you are setting financial curse on yourself and future generation. Most of the time, when we talk about financial curse, a lot of people put emphasis on maybe their friends, their families, or maybe they don't even see the decisions that they have made that have led them to where they are. Most of the time, we have to judge ourselves. What am I doing wrong that is making me struggle or making me be where I am today? We have to understand the decisions that we make, and most of the time, most mistakes people make comes from the people they hang around with. That is the beginning of failure, because when you hang around the right people who have a positive mindset, at the end of the day, you turn out to act like those people. You cannot hang around people who take drugs all the time. You cannot hang around people who speak negative things all the time. You cannot talk about people who get fired from their jobs all the time. Because when you hang around these people, you are setting yourself to a financial curse. Understand that the future of your children relies on you. You are the one. You are the one to make a better future for your children. If you look into the history of most successful people, you will realize that they have a history down the path. They have a very long history down the path. For example, look at the history of Donald J. Trump. I'll take as a history. I'll take as an example, because if you look into his life, if you look into his kids, if you look at where he started, you realize that it was he inherited $1 million from his dad. Why? Because his dad was hardworking. His dad was determined that my son will be somebody, my kid will be somebody. So you have to set a goal for your future generation. You have to set a goal for your future generation. You don't have to sit. You cannot sit and speak around and then you cannot sit and then look around and then just wait for money to get into your account. It doesn't work like that. Most of the time, people have to work. You have to work. You have to work. You have to set apart for your children. You have to set apart for your children's children, for your great-great-grandchildren. You have to do that. And most of the time, these finances, they come out from your personal creativity. You have to be creative to have an everlasting wealth. You have to be creative. That's what I mean by when I say a financial curse. A financial curse does not come from anyone, but from the decisions you make. Because whatever decisions you make today will reveal itself either successful or as a failure in the long run. So my brothers and sisters, you have to make the right decisions. You have to make the right decisions. You cannot be a millionaire today sleeping on your bed 24/7. Because we have people nowadays, they sleep on their bed. When they get up in the morning, what they do is play video games. It doesn't work like that in real life scenario. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You cannot get in the morning. When you get in the morning, for example, my wife and I and my wife, we have a goal. We have a plan. We have a plan. We have a goal. Every day we get up at 4:45 in the morning and we go for a walk. We start planning our day from the time we get up in the morning. When the alarm rings, we get up, we go for a walk. Even when it's cold, we go for a walk. We put our warm clothes, we go to the park, we walk around the park for about 3 miles. And when we are walking, we have a lot of ideas that comes into our mind. And those ideas, when we have those ideas like that, that's what set our path for the day. We get up in the morning at 4:45 a.m. and we make sure that we go for a walk. Because when you go for a walk in the morning, I mean, I don't say everybody must go for a walk, but I'm just talking about, part of the ways, part of the things you can do to set your day successful. Because success is in a day. Success is in a day. You cannot just get up one morning and think that maybe, I'm going to be successful if you don't set up your day right. No, it doesn't work like that. Because I met a friend one time and he said, if I win a lottery, I asked him a question. If you win a lottery, what are you going to do with your money? And what he told me was, hey, I'm going to buy cars, I'm going to buy a home, I'm going to buy a private, nice, little fancy home, and I'm going to live a better life. No, that's not how life is. Because if you look from the answer he gave me, it means that he haven't planned ahead of time. You have to plan ahead of time. And the only way to plan ahead of time is setting a success. It's setting a success that is going to heal generations. Not only you, it's not only at the moment. Because anybody can just get up in the morning, go to a McDonald's and eat and get a cheeseburger, come home, be cool. No. But you don't, but that is not a situation. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is that if you want to be successful, you have to start by planning your day from the beginning. From the time you get up in the morning, first of all, you have to set the right hour that you get up in the morning. Because successful people don't sleep 8 hours a day. They don't sleep 8 hours a day. Most successful people, 98% of successful people, have just about 5 to 6 hours of sleep a day. And that's what I tell my friends, my brothers and sisters, is that in order for you to succeed, you have, first of all, you have to plan your day. Because success is in a day. Don't sit and say, hey, I'm going to make $1 million this month. And if you are not that type of person that is disciplined, this is what we call discipline. You have to be disciplined about yourself. And when the money comes, you have to be disciplined about the money. Because your money can multiply. Your money can only multiply if you are disciplined about that money. If you tell your money where to go, then you are setting the right path for your money. You are setting where your money can go and regenerate. You are setting it. That's why I said, that's why I make this statement from the beginning. A financial curse does not come from anywhere, but from the decision you make. If you let an opportunity slip, then you are setting a financial curse upon yourself and future generation. Don't let your children suffer because of your errors. Don't let your children suffer because of the mistakes you are making. Don't let your children suffer because of the type of friends you hang around with. Don't let your children suffer because of the decisions you make. You have to make the right decisions for the younger generations to benefit, for the younger generation to be proud of you, for the younger generation to be successful. We have to make the right decisions. We have to make the right decisions. We have to make the right decision. We have to be on the right path. That is the honest truth. Anybody can be successful if you come out with the right plan of what you want to do and what you want, where you want your money to go. This is very, very simple. This is a simple principle, but people complicate everything. People complicate everything. People complicate everything. Okay, yeah, you have money now today. What then? Then we have a lot of people that are successful, but they turn around and lose about 98% of their wealth. Why? Because they were not prepared for the wave of finances. They were not prepared. You have people who won the lottery today, $800 million, $900 million, but you turn around and they lose the money in few days. Why? Because they didn't plan for the wave. They didn't plan for that wave. They didn't plan for the wave of success. They didn't plan for that surprise. Most of the time, God gives people money for a reason. Most of the time, at times, the reason I'm saying about all this is that, you can run into money today. Yes, of course, you are rich for that day. But if you don't have plan for that riches, you will fail no matter how much it is. No matter how much it is, if you don't have plan for your money, that money will not locate the right path. That's the honest truth. The money will not locate the right path. So all I say all the time is that we have to make sure that we are setting the right path. We have to make sure that we are doing planning. We have to buy a journal. A journal, that's where you jot down all of the paths you want to take. You jot down everything and sit down maybe with your spouse and talk about it. If you don't have a spouse, maybe you have a girlfriend, or maybe you have a financial planner. You talk about it because you have a lot of financial experts out there that can sit down with you and kind of like draft a plan for where they think and how they think this money or the money just won from a lottery can regenerate. But if you win a lottery today and you turn around and lose that money, that's a financial curse. That's a financial curse. And you are not placing that curse just upon yourself. You are placing that curse upon generations upon generations. We have to be careful with what we do. We have to be careful with the decisions we make. We have to be careful with the friends we hang around with. That is the honest truth. You have to be careful with the type of things you buy. Because most of the time, people gain the attitude, people have the attitude of buying. What is the need of getting 3-4 cars if you need just one car that can take you to your job site? If you need just one car that can take you to the office, what is the need of buying 4 different cars? Like, what is the need? Like, what are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove? I know, of course, people want to live, people want some kind of comfort, people want to, like, how can I put it? People want to catch up. People want to catch up with innovations. People want to catch up with technology. At the same time, if you are an investor, most of the time, you bypass those things by reasoning like an investor. Don't set your goals around the government. That's the next topic. Don't set your goals around the government. Benefit. Don't set your goals around the government benefit, because those benefits are temporal. Those benefits are temporal. Those benefits are temporal. I'm speaking from the United States today, but when I talk about benefit, I talk about something like Section 8, food stamps. In Canada, they have different types of benefits. And most of the benefits have a condition that, hey, you can only gain this benefit if you are not working, or if you are working just about 20 hours a week, or if you don't own a business. Now you can earn those type of benefit. Those we call that financial benefit. Those are temporary benefit. What if the government crashes today? They don't have enough money to give that benefit. What then are you going to do? Or what if you depend on those benefits every day, morning, afternoon, evening, and all the time? You depend on that benefit all the time. I'm not saying that those benefits are bad. I'm just saying that if you are dependent on those benefits, make sure that you have some kind of pre-existing or a condition that does not let it work. An example of those type of conditions that kind of like, a mental problem, or maybe like if you're handicapped, or maybe you have other major issues which I have not named that does not permit you to work. But if you're a full-fledged grown man that can work, I always advise you that don't set your goals around the government benefit, because those benefits will not and will never take you to where you will be comfortable. You only take money, you eat, or maybe you are living in a free housing, you have a free phone call, or free phone bills. Those things are temporary. Why? Because you can only use that thing. Because first of all, you don't have confidence that those things are going to be around for a long time, because the government changes their bill all the time. The government changes their rules all the time. They change their laws all the time. So you never know. So most of the time, I always encourage young youth that get out there and work. Get out there and work. Don't set your goals on government. Don't set your goals on government benefits and all these things that at the end of the day will never set you to the path that you have chosen. Everybody's dream. If you ask every little child on the street today, they will tell you. You ask every child, what are your dreams? I want to be a millionaire. I want to go on a vacation. Everybody want to go to Hawaii. Everybody want to go to Honolulu. Everybody want to go to places. Everybody want to go to Maui. Everybody want to go to Japan. Everybody wants to go to Dubai. Everybody wants to enjoy the nature of the world. Everybody wants to enjoy the beauty of the world. But not everybody can participate in this enjoyment. Why? Because of the type of mindset people have set. Some people have set upon themselves. I call that a curse. Because if you make up your mind that I don't want to work, I just want to sit at home, enjoy the government money, then I call that a financial curse. That's what I call. That's what I call. Because there is no other language that can describe that. There's no other language that can describe that. So we have to make a determination. We have to think. We have to reason. We have to understand ourselves. We have to understand our system. If you cannot work, if maybe you have a little bit of a problem that cannot permit you to go stand on a job for 8 hours, then you have to be creative. You have to think about something that you can make by yourself that will give you money. You have to think about that. Because now we are thinking about our younger generation. We are thinking about future generation. Our great-great-grandchildren. That's what we are thinking about. We always have to have all that in our mind when we make any decision. Even if you don't have children, you have people who are struggling on the street. You have charity. You have charities. You have cancer foundation. You have hospitals. You have people who are struggling. And you might have a talent of creating content. You might have a talent of creating a job. You might have a talent of being an employer. Please use your talent. God gave everybody talent to use. So if you have a talent, use it. Never neglect what God has given you. Never neglect what God has given you. In my next video, I will give my testimony, how I started and where I am today in life. It's a whole testimony. And everybody's surprised. Why? Because I was a very poor kid growing up. I had nothing. I had just one pair of shoes that I put for a couple of years. I thank God because my feet were not growing that fast. So I had to maintain the same shoes. I had to maintain the same pair of pants. Why? Because my parents didn't have enough. They didn't have a lot. They didn't have a lot. They struggled, and the little they had, they brought me up. And they taught me a lot of life lessons. They said, son, we have made mistakes, but we don't want you to make these mistakes. We are giving you the tool. We want you to run with this tool. We want you to be successful. We want you to grow. And I took that advice and I ran with it. And today, I am the one surviving the entire family. You can be the next person. Listening to this video, you can be the next person. You can be the next person. There is no magic. All it takes is determination, self-discipline, and respect for people you see. That's all it takes. Rich and serious people don't sleep 8 hours a day, as I said. By the time you wake up in the morning, if you are sleeping 8 hours a day, by the time you get up in the morning, the stock market is already making money off you. The stock market is already making money because our time differences are different. But when you get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, 4:30, 5 a.m., trust me, you are going to catch up with any stock market. You are going to catch up with any stock market. That is the honest truth. But if you sleep, you relax, you get up at 8:30 in the morning, then you are getting up when the stock market has already started, and now you are 4 hours behind. You are 4 hours behind. That's a lot of hours. I say this all the time. We have to understand certain things as far as it comes to investment. If you want to become an investor, if you want to become somebody who can impact the society, if you want to become an influential person, there are certain disciplines you have to take. And one of the disciplines is that you have to get up in the morning at a time when the market is not yet open. You have to get up. Get your body up. Go work. Go work. Go for a walk in the morning. Do some exercise. When you are doing an exercise, when you walk in the morning, that is the highest time you gain inspiration. That is the highest time. Where do you think success can come from if you don't even have the self-discipline? Where do you think that success comes from? It doesn't just fall from the sky. You have to be confident about your process. You have to be confident. It's been 3 years I've been getting up since I made up my mind. I started getting up with my wife 3 years ago. We get up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. 4:45 in the morning, and we go for a walk. And when we go for a walk, that's when we think, and we think we think good because nobody's around us. We don't have any distractions. We're enjoying the nice breeze in the night, and we are talking. Even the birds are not even up. We are up, we walk down the path, we go to the lake, about 4 a.m., we go to the park, we just talk. We just talk. That's where I gain my inspiration. I don't know where you gain your inspiration. I don't know. I don't know where you gain your inspiration. I don't know. Some people's inspiration. Some people gain their inspiration by just getting up very early in the morning and then they drive in their car around the lake and they meditate. That's another way. I do that at times. You know, I do that at times. You know, you cannot expect to get married to the best husband or wife if you don't have anything to offer in the marriage. You guys must be compatible to be able to run the race. You guys have to be compatible to run the race. The way you live your life from the beginning will determine who you will end up with as couples. The way, I repeat this again, the way you live your life from the beginning will determine who you will end up with as couples. That is the honest truth, my brothers. Marriage is like a financial decision. If you don't make the right financial decision from the beginning, then you will fail. Marriage is like a financial decision. You have to make up your mind. You have to work hard. You have to think about your behavior. If you want to get married tomorrow, there are many things, there are many checkpoints that you put in mind. Hey, I want to get married tomorrow. You know, I want to look good. I want to be rich. I want to have a nice little behavior. I want to know how to cook for my husband. I want to know how to make money for my wife. Those are decisions that you make in your heart when you are about to look for a spouse, when you're about to settle down with someone. It's the same thing. It's the same principle. It's the same principle with money. It's the same principle with money. When you are going out for money, what decisions do you make? You know, hey, I want to go on a vacation. I just want to, have a nice little house. I want to send my kids to the best school. Before you even make money, those are the decisions that run in your mind. That should be running in your mind. Because some people have different decisions, especially people who don't know the value of money. The same decisions that people make, that you make when you step on the street, that I'm looking for my spouse, I'm looking for the right partner. The same decisions that you make in your mind, those are the same decisions that you should be making. Those are the same decisions that you should be making when you are looking for a spouse. Those are the same things. Those are the same things that you should be making. I don't see any differences. I don't see any differences. Riches and generational wealth cannot be attained from the $50 an hour your employer offers to you. Even if you make $100 an hour, your riches cannot come from that money. And I will prove you wrong. I will prove you for that. I will prove you. If you make $100 an hour, although I know many people don't even make that amount, but if you make $100 an hour, let's just think about it. If you're in a country that has a terrible tax system, now you know that now you know 20% of that money has been taxed. Now you are dealing on 20%, but now you are making that money. You have bills in your home. You have bills in your home, and bills run from anything like gas, electricity, house, maybe mortgage, or maybe if you don't have a mortgage, maybe you are renting a house. Your gas bills in your car. If you don't have a car, then you are catching a taxi, maybe to work or anywhere. All those bills you see, if you not look at it very, very well, at the end of the day, if you break down everything, you might be left with just about $1,000 left in your account, or maybe $500, or maybe less. It depends on where you live. It depends on the country you're currently living. But at the same time, if you look into these incomes, and the most important thing in life is what I call liberty. When you have liberty, when you know that when I get up in the morning, I decide if I'm going to the office, or I decide if I'm resting at home today. If you have that liberty, my brothers and sisters, if you have that liberty brings wealth at times. When you have liberty at times lead. Liberty or freedom. Let me use the right word, freedom. When you have the freedom of some boss getting on your nerves every day. If you have the liberty of like, hey, if I don't turn out this project at the job site, I'm going to be fired. If you have the fear of getting fired, if you have that fear, and you understand where I'm coming from. That's why I make this statement that you have your generational wealth. We talk about finances. We talk about rich people. We don't talk about the $50 you make an hour. It doesn't work like that. 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 Money, riches comes from your planning and execution. Riches comes from your planning and the right path that you take to execute that plan. That's where riches come from. A lot of people graduate from computer science. I, for one, I had my degree in computer science. But when I had that degree, I decided not to work for an industry. I decided to create a software solutions company. I decided to do that. And another branch of my business was get into the healthcare by starting a home health industry, using my computer science degree to create a technology that can be used for documentation. I created a technology that can be used for documentation. Those were my plans when I was in college. And when I came out of college, I executed a plan. I had a lot of friends that were laughing at me. They make all mockeries of me. Hey, you're making these plans. You have to pay. You have to do a lot of advertisement to get your software into the market and everything. When you have God in your heart, when you believe in God, when you believe that God is the supreme person, you believe that God is the only person that can lead you to the right path, it doesn't matter what whoever says. What matters is the trust you have in God. I had that trust. I ran with it. I said, God, I prayed every day. I said, God, I'm in school. I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to work for a boss. I don't say working for a boss is bad, but it just depends on your financial needs. And I think 98% of everybody living on earth wants to go on some kind of expensive vacation, wants to enjoy life. Nobody want to be stuck. If you want to go out, if you want to go on a vacation, you have to go meet your boss, and then maybe you have just 2 weeks of PPT. Maybe you have just 2 weeks of PPT, and then you go on a sweet vacation, traveling like 18 hours a day to travel like you count from a United States to a country like probably like maybe how can I put it, Africa? We're going to Africa. There's an example. And then you cannot take 2 weeks just, so it's a lot of comparison here. It depends on your personal choices. I walked with a woman, I think it was at a hospital. I was going to one of the hospitals to get a contract because I own a home health and my own things. I went to the hospital to get a contract. I met this woman. She was there at the cafeteria, and I told the woman, do you want to learn how to own your own business? Do you want to learn how to own your own business? Look, I saw the way she was struggling. She was in her late 50s, and she had intelligence. She had a very smart son who was a doctor and stuff. And I asked her a question: do you want to learn how to start your own business and maybe use your son as a backup, as a doctor, as this and that, And she said, I'm comfortable where I am. And I asked her, what do you do? She said, I work for this company and I make just $8 American an hour. And she was very comfortable. Those were her priorities. I cannot blame her for that. She had already made her plan around her money, and she realized that this is what she wants in life. So most people need that financial education. Most people need that financial motivation. Most people need some encouraging word to get out of the shares. And then 3 weeks after, when I met this woman, she said, due to the inflation, of course, most of you know the war between Russia and Ukraine, and then COVID-19, these two incidences brought a lot of inflation and a lot of problems. And of course, house rental, house bills, and everything went up. And she came one time, she said, son, she said, you said something really, really good last time, and can you re-explain yourself again? And I talked to her, I talked to her and I explained everything to her again. She said, man, I'm interested and I want to make money. She said so. Why? Because she was hit by a real life scenario. She was hit by a real life scenario. When inflation came, her company didn't give her any raise. And she was expecting a raise. Her company didn't give her any raise. And she was crying. Why? Because everything was being turned off from her home. Her television, electricity bills, everything was turned out. And she realized what I was saying. Even if you're working for somebody, look for that second source of income. Look for that second source of income. And that second source of income is you being self-employed. You being self-employed. I say this all the time. Know your place in people's lives and act accordingly. It's not pride. It's self-respect. It's self-respect. Weak people revenge, but strong people forgive. Weak people revenge, strong people forgive. This is another topic I'm really, really happy to touch today. That know your place in people's lives. Know your value in people's lives. Know your value. And when I talk about this most of the time, people ask me this question: what do you mean by know your place in people's lives? What I just mean is example. You have people who are willing to listen to you. You have people who are willing to listen to your motivational topic. You have people who are willing to click on this channel and listen to the whole motivation video that I'm talking about. And you have people who don't have time for all that. That's why I say, when you know your place in people's lives and you hit the right people, That's what called self-respect. If you don't have self-respect for yourself, because if you're a motivational speaker, you cannot just get on the street and start talking. It doesn't work like that. You have to know your audience. You have to know people who are willing to listen from you. You have to know that. And you have to come up with tactics and ways to draw the weaker population closer to you. That's how it works. That's how it works. Posting your spouse on social media is a proof of insecurity. I say this all the time, posting your spouse, posting people doing this, doing that most of the time. I talk about insecurity, it's going back, to like, hey, I'm rich. Look at the clothes my husband is putting on. This is what my husband is doing. Now you blindfold other people who are watching on social media. Now they know, hey, this guy has money. This guy has a lot of things. What is John doing today? That is not how life is. Most of the time, I always tell people, and most people come around and call me, hey, they say, so, why don't you post on social media? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And the message I'm passing here today is that, most of the time, you don't have to prove yourself on social media. You don't have to buy a new pair of pants. Most people, most of the time, people take loans, people go borrow money from friends, they come, they post on social media just to prove a point. My brothers and sisters, that is not the right thing to do. I say most of the time, you have to know your place in the society. You have to know your place in the society. You have to know that. You have to know your place in the society. Success occurs when preparation meets opportunity. Success most of the time comes when preparation meets opportunity. That is the honest truth. That is the honest truth. When you prepare to own a business, example, to own a software business, when you prepare to own a software business today, and you prepared every day, you gather money, you save money, you put money together, and now you started making some income. You started making some income. Now, not only making the income now the first year, because when you start a business, most of the time you don't succeed in that business till you have been running for at least 1.5 to 2 years. After you have been running payroll for 1.5 to 2 years. Now, after 2 years or after 1.5 years, it just depends on the industry that you are in. Most of the time people start seeing their success. People start seeing a lot of money coming in, extra money. When I talk about success is extra money you are able to save in your account that does not go on any bills. That's what I call true profit. That's what I call true profit. That's the reason why at that level now, your preparation has met opportunity. Your preparation has met opportunity. Your preparation has met opportunity. Because when you are doing a business, it's not yet an opportunity till you succeed. It's not yet an opportunity till you succeed. It's not yet an opportunity till you succeed. That's why I use a statement. Success occurs when preparation meets opportunity. That is simple. The secret of success lies in books. Success lies in the minds of those who receive it. Family problems can limit your level of success. If you want to know where the rich people, the 1% of the world, gain their success from, you have to read books. That's the honest truth. YouTube, most of the time, will never, because people come, they post videos on YouTube, how to make money on affiliate marketing. They are not giving the real secret behind that. Believe me, they are not giving the real secret behind that. They are not giving the real secret. They are not giving the real secret. If you want to know the real secret of success, please go and read books. Invest in books. Go on Amazon, buy books. Go on any website that you think about, buy books, and you read. That's where success comes from. Because those books that you buy on Amazon, Etsy, and all those websites, the author of those books, they are writing about the true testimony of their lives. They are writing about the true testimony of their life. What made them to be who they are today? What made them who they are today? You know, that's what it means. That's what it means. That's what it means. Success lies in the mind of those who receive it. If you receive an advice and you act by it, believe me, you are going to be successful. And when I talk about act on it, it means like following the principles of success. Reading books, that's an information that has been given to you. It's just like you have to buy it because certain informations are not free. Certain information are not free. So if you read this book and you make up your mind that I want to follow the same footsteps of this author, I want to use the same steps that he took to be who he is today. If you follow the same steps, believe me, 98% of the time you'll be successful. Family problems can limit your level of success. Don't take your family problems and you put ahead of your business. Most of the time, when you have problems with people, it's always good to solve your problems. It's always good to solve your problem, because don't take your family problems and put ahead of you. Else, most